I gave you a number, Mr. Chairman, on statistics, and numbers don't lie, that health is possibly one of those services under Article 179 that Kenyans wanted to be done by counties. My 241 facilities are seeing 2 million people. It means, although the population of Makueni is about 1.2, it means they are repeat, and maybe from the neighbors like Kajiado and Machakos, we're also treating people who are outside Makueni. So the proper resourcing of the health function is a matter that must be given national importance. The funding of this function must be given national importance. Its management, both at commodity level and human resource, is a discussion that should take priority. You can tell that when I defended the doctors who were being jailed, and I was in that brief with the Governor Orengo, that it was unfair to treat surgeons and doctors in the manner that they were treated. Because they work for long hours, 16, 18 hours. They don't get the sort of allowances that even other public officers get. And this discussion must continue because it affects every Kenyan. Every person seated in this room has somebody who is unwell, who will be unwell, or whose relative or another person is unwell. And if we don't resource it properly, we still end up, all of us, getting into our pockets to either pay for medical expenses or funeral expenses. And it's a matter that is of great importance even to me as an individual. On my screen here is the patients who have been seen at level 5, Makueni, up to this minute, 427 here. How they have paid, the demographics, the age, the commodities is on my screen. This is the way to handle health in Kenya. Means that we are able to check, because if we don't have numbers, you will not be able to do proper budgets. If you don't have numbers, you will not know how overwhelmed the doctors are, because you don't know how many people are coming daily, whether for specialized services or for ordinary things. That becomes a matter that concerns me. On the question of handling of registers, again, Kenyans are not very good with keeping records all round, but I have put in mechanisms to ensure that we have asset registers. Titles, Sultan Hospital, where is led by Major Kasioka and Dr. Mwende. I found encroachment on many sides of the hospital, and we have managed to give, my first cause was to give public facilities, 900 of them titles. I started with the public facilities where there's water boreholes, where there are hospitals, whether it is churches. I gave them title deeds, and this year I want to do more, because without that, then the hospitals are in jeopardy, and encroachment for the usual Kenyan behavior of encroaching on anything that is space. Everything that is space can be encroached on. The capacity building of these doctors, making sure they go for training, capacity building is an important aspect. I found doctors who had stayed for 9 years in one job group, and we have promoted them as a matter of recognizing these specialists for the work that they are doing. On partnerships, I mentioned at the beginning that Makueni possibly has the largest partners in the country in terms of the health department. Sultan Hospital has been given a grant of 60 million shillings to build a modern maternity center, which will be ready in November, and it is built and equipped 50-bed capacity with equipment. Kibozi Hospital, again, similar issues. They have received a grant of 200 million from Safaricom M-Pesa Foundation. By beginning of next year, it will be equipped, and they will have a modern ward. Mutito Andei Hospital along the high was equipped by one of our conservancies to the tune of 25 million. That is Sultan. I have Senator Tobiko, possibly one of his kind, what we call neonatal intensive care unit, like the ones you would find in Aga Khan and Nairobi Hospital. We have one in Makueni level 5. Again, that was given to us by a donor. We have one of its kind blood bank. What do you call it? Blood satellite station. Again, fully equipped by one of our investors, up to the tune of 20 million shillings. And I think, and I urge senators, at some point I was very concerned that national government was ring fencing partners, means that they put them in an office on 14th floor of Treasury and tell them, why are you going to Kajiado, why are you going to Makueni, why are you going to Kirinyaga? We must leave the partners who are friends of devolution to continue assisting counties without any hindrance. The third one, Mr. Chairman, the money you allocated under conditional grants bill has not been received in counties as at 30th of June 2025. That is money in addition to the equitable share that assists counties in plugging in budget deficits. And it is a way that national government does to repurpose this money and put it in part of their work. And then matters concerning health, agriculture, mitigation of climate change is affected by the fact that the money that is supposed to be given to counties by partners stays in Treasury. When we drafted the conditional grants bill, Mr. Chairman, and I was sitting in the Finance Committee, the idea was to fast track the release of monies for conditional grants and other grants to counties. It is the reverse. On support to the Senate, I want to thank all of you for the support you gave to counties for the road maintenance levy. We refused. We became hardliners. For the first time, became a hardliner like I was in the Senate. Although they have only released 35% and they want to keep the 65%, the war is still on in the court so that the 65% of the total 10 billion is released to counties.